Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Students, welcome to second PUC accountancy revision classes. Students, let us take up issue of shares. I'll take up that is retirement, death and dissolution later, okay? Because this is a very important chapter. Debenture is removed. That means from this, I think two questions may be asked. If the pattern is not changed, then two questions may be asked from issue of shares. So there are two parts. One is a forfeiture and reissue part. Another one is calls in arrears, isn't it? Calls in arrears part. So there are two parts. So let us analyze this chapter in detail so that students can score maximum marks in this chapter. If they concentrate, if they practice to some extent, it is very easy to score in issue of shares. You know the meaning of joint stock company. I need not have to explain again. I have explained in my regular video very clearly. Then features of joint stock company. Remember, they will ask you maximum 2 marks question. Mention any two features of joint stock company. That's all. No need of any explanation over there. Simply writing the points. That's all. Then share capital of a company. Studied in first year business studies, that is under joint stock company, how the share capital is raised by public limited companies. There are two types of companies. One is a private limited company and other one is public limited companies, isn't it? In case of private limited companies, the promoters, they themselves contribute the amount and they subscribe for their shares themselves. They will not go for public issue. But in case of public limited companies, they have to collect huge funds, isn't it? And they have to make sure that the issue of shares and collection of share capital is done according to the Companies Act 2013, provisions of Companies Act 2013, right? So here, share capital of a company consists of 5 parts. That is, let us analyze what are those. Share capital of a company, authorized capital, issued capital, then subscribed capital, called up capital, and paid up capital. One more is there, uncalled capital, which is not required for us here, isn't it? That's called in areas we call uncalled capital, or that is a capital which is kept pending, which will be demanded in future, is not required for us for accounting purpose here. Actually, to be very frank with you, these things are not there practically. Practically, when the company wants to collect capital, company will go for bid cum application form. Now it is e-bids, isn't it? Bid cum application form, you have to, they will mention the price band, maybe 500 to 700. In between, you can ask the shares at any price. Someone may ask at 500, someone may ask at 600, someone may ask at 700, because reputed companies, very difficult for the people to get the shares, isn't it? And even that allotment will be done maybe sometimes on the basis of lots, computer lots, isn't it? It's because it is not possible. So a digital system has developed to such an extent that we can do those things very easily. Paperwork is not there nowadays, isn't it? Through Demat account, it will be allotted. It will be credited to Demat account of the, that is public. So these stages are not there straight away, they will collect the entire amount at a time, but as it is there in the Companies Act, we cannot overlook it, we cannot neglect it, we have to go as per the procedure that is given in the Companies Act 2013, right? Yes. Now, authorized capital, this is the capital structure of a joint stock company. Capital share capital of a company is divided into 5 parts, that is authorized, issued, subscribed, called up and paid up. Authorized capital, it is the maximum capital that a company can collect from the public, maximum amount of capital that can be collected by a company from the public, that is authorized capital. It is a sanctioned amount, sanctioned by that is registrar of companies, isn't it? So authorized capital is the maximum amount of capital that can be collected by a company. Issued capital is a part of the authorized capital. It is a part of authorized capital which is actually issued to the public for subscription. Suppose the permission is to, the company can go up to 1000 crore, isn't it? It can collect 1000 crore of capital from the public, but company wants to collect only 300 crores now. There is no need of 1000 crores at present. So company may go for 300 crores worth shares to issue to the public. That is, that 300 crores is nothing but issued capital. Clear? Then subscribed capital. It is that part of issued capital which is actually subscribed by the public. Isn't it? Subscribed by the public. That is, suppose 300 crores worth shares are issued, public might have accepted for 290 crores. Then 290 crores is the subscribed capital which is actually subscribed by the public, isn't it? Then called up capital is that part of subscribed capital which is called up by the company. Company may not call the entire 300 crores at a time. Company may ask the shareholders to pay maybe 100 crore at first, then second that is installment maybe 50 crore, like that it may collect in different installments. So whatever is called from the public by the company, that is called up capital, and this is paid up capital is the actual amount paid by the public. When the company has called 100 crores, then how much is paid by the public? Maybe 99 crore is paid by the company, 1 crore worth shareholders failed to pay the amount. So 99 crore is the paid up capital here. So this is called the capital structure of a joint stock company. Clear? There is a practical oriented question. You just go through that. I already explained and I gave it in your note, and it's a notebook, isn't it? So just go through that. This is the only thing it is there, isn't it? So just go through it. For 5 marks they will ask you as practical oriented question. Now, see, we will, while issuing the shares, what we will do is we will issue the shares to the public stage wise. There are different stages of issue of shares. That is application stage. First one is called application stage. Second one is called allotment stage. Third one is called, that is a first call stage, and subsequent calls, maybe second call, third call, like that. Third call, second call will not be there for you because allotment of marks will be a problem. Only 12 marks problems can be given, so they will restrict up to first call only, not second call. Clear? Yes. So, but still let us go up to second call. If second call is called, then second call is the final call. We call this as second and final call. Second and final call, isn't it? If second call is there. If second call is not there, first and final call, that will stop. that is the final call. First call itself is the final call. If second call is there, this is first call and this is second and final call. If second call is not there, first and final call, like that. Clear? Now, application stage. During application stage, what happens is that company will issue the applications, provide applications to the public. Now it is e-applications, isn't it? No need of collecting the physical applications and filling it. All these things are not there. Just log into the website and just fill the application form. There itself, digitally, you just fill the application form. So there are two stages. Here also two, and here two stages, like this it will be there. So application stage, during application stage, what we will do is, we will collect money first, then that amount will be transferred to share application account. So two accounts affecting here are, first one is a bank account, because money is collected through bank and not cash, so cash will not come in case of issue of shares. 99% it will be bank only. So bank account debtor to share application account. Share application account is the first entry to be passed when we issue the shares to the public. Bank account debtor to share application account, because the money is received is against share application. So bank account debtor, increase in the asset. Bank account is an asset, increase in the asset. When we receive money through bank balance will increase in the asset, debit, right? So bank account debtor to share application account. So here, when we pass this entry, remember, if it is equity share, if it is mentioned in the problem as equity share, then you have to write equity share application account. If it is given as ordinary share means equity share only. Don't get confused, friends. Keep this properly in your mind. Ordinary share or equity share means both are one and the same. The other name for that is equity share is ordinary share. There are cases students fail to understand what is ordinary share. It is equity share only. Clear? So if it is given as ordinary share, then also you have to write ordinary share application account or equity share application account, makes no difference. Then equity share, if it is given, you have to write equity share application account. If nothing is mentioned, share application account. Bank account debtor to share application account. Then second entry is you have to transfer this amount received to share application account, isn't it? Bank account debtor to share application account debtor to share capital. I'm sorry, not share application, share capital account. You have to transfer. The entry is share application account debtor to share capital account. This is the second journal entry to be passed. This is together, these two entries constitute the application stage. This is the first stage, remember. So during first stage, application stage, you will receive money first against share application, and you will transfer that application money received to share capital account. So bank account debtor to share application account debtor to share capital account. Money cannot be utilized by the company because there is a norm, there is a rule that the company must receive minimum subscription. What is minimum subscription? It is the minimum amount of money that is to be collected from the public by the company. Minimum amount. Suppose 300 crores worth shares are issued, then if nothing is mentioned in the capital clause of memorandum of association, there are many clauses to memorandum of association, right? Studied in first year and completely forgot, is it? No. Okay, fine. Here it should be mentioned in the capital clause of memorandum of association. So if it is mentioned as minimum subscription should be 90%, normally it will be 90% of the total subscription. If it is not mentioned, entire issued capital should be treated as minimum subscription. If it is mentioned, then fine. If it is mentioned, that much amount should have been collected by the company. If it is not, then company should not proceed to collect further amount. It should return the amount to the applicants without using that money. For that reason, we transfer that amount to a separate account called share capital account. Whatever amount is collected from the public is nothing but capital of the company. It is not loan, it is capital, because shareholders are the owners of the company, equity shareholders are the owners of the company, right? So, share application account related to share capital account. Then, let us move on to the second stage, that is allotment stage, isn't it? Share allotment, equity share allotment or share allotment account debtor to share capital account. Share capital account. Remember, second stage, the entry will be reverse. What we will do is, we will collect amount, that is a bank account debtor to share allotment account. Remember friends, here during first stage, application stage, we will collect money first, then we will transfer it to share capital account. But during second stage, reverse, we will demand the amount. We will demand the amount from the public first, then we will collect money. After allotment of shares, we have to call the amount, we have to demand from the public, pay allotment money, then only they will pay, otherwise they will not pay, because they never know when to pay, isn't it? Company has to demand from the public. So here the allotment money should be made due first, then money should be collected. But here you will collect money first and then you will transfer it to share capital account. Here reverse, most of the students will go wrong here and they will get marks only for these two entries, that is 2 marks they will get. So make sure friends, don't do mistakes in board exam. Allotment stage, you have to pass reverse, you have to make the allotment money due first. The journal entry is share allotment account debtor to share capital account, then you will collect the amount, that is bank account debtor to share allotment account. Share allotment account. Then third stage comes, third and the remaining stage remains as it is, no change, like this only, that is first call stage, share first call account or share first and final call account if it is the last call, isn't it? Share first call account debtor to share capital account, bank account debtor to share first call account, share first call account. So this is about the different, that is entries that are to be made, and subsequent share second and final call account debtor to share capital account. Similarly, we have to pass the entries. So make sure during allotment stage you will be very careful and you will handle it properly. Don't pass wrong entries, because first 2 entries if remains correct you will get only 2 marks for this, for others no marks. Remember, all the entries are correct but amount is wrong, then also you will not get any marks for that. And again, if there is no narration, entry is incomplete, so you may not get any marks for that. Clear? So make sure you will write the narration also. When you write the narration, the journal entry is complete. When you write correct figure, the journal entry is correct. Otherwise, journal entry is wrong, you will get a 0. Without amount, no entry will be considered by the evaluators. So practice as much problems as possible. I think I have solved all the problems of this question bank. So make sure of this. So here, 2 entries here, 2 entries here and 2 entries here. Then comes, that is a 4 feature part. But here there are 3 cases of issues issue of shares at par, issue of share at premium, and issue of shares at discount. Par, very simple, face value is 10 and issue price is also 10. Premium, face value is 10, issue price is maybe 12. Discount, face value is 10, issue price is maybe 8 or 9. Do you find any difference here? Yes. In all the cases, face value is 10, correct? But while issuing, that matters a lot whether you have issued at premium, par or discount. Par means 10, issued at 10, no problem for us. A premium, price is 10, you have issued at 12. Discount, price is 10, face value is 10 and issue price is 8, isn't it? Here the company loses, the shareholder will get the benefit. That is the difference between par, premium and discount. Okay. So while issuing the shares also, it matters a lot. Discount will be given mostly during allotment stage. Remember, mostly on allotment stage, discount will be given. If nothing is mentioned, only discount is given in the problem, and you should make sure that you will stick on to the allotment stage. There only you will provide discount. Okay. Yes, here discount will be adjusted during allotment stage and premium is mostly given, that is collected during allotment stage. Sometimes premium may be collected during first call stage also, rare case. Mostly it will be done during allotment stage itself. So premium means what? It is a profit to the company, right? Instead of selling the shares at the price of 10, which is face value, actually the company was supposed to issue at 10. Now the company is collecting 12 rupees because the company has good reputation. Like that is good reputed, that's which are fundamentally strong companies, isn't it? We call those companies as blue chips. When they issue shares, there will be oversubscription. What is oversubscription? When the demand from the public for the shares are more than the number of shares issued by the company is called oversubscription. Suppose the shares issued by the company is 10,000 shares were issued by the company, but there is a demand from the public for 50,000 shares. This is a case of oversubscription. It will happen only when the company is blue chip company or fundamentally strong company, which is earning bumper profit or supernormal profit. There will be more capital appreciation, which will help the investors to earn profit, and again they will give good amount of dividends, isn't it? So such companies are called blue chip companies or fundamentally strong companies. In such cases, the shares gets oversubscribed, that is there will be more demand from the public for the shares than the quantity of shares issued by the company. That is called oversubscription. Undersubscription is the reverse. Company is not that strong or new company which is not known to the public. So there will be some sort of hesitation by the investors whether to invest in this company or not. Or the company is just earning normal profits, or in 1 year company has earned profit, next year there is loss. So such companies which are not fundamentally strong, such company shares will not be oversubscribed. Sometimes they will be undersubscribed. That is, if the company is going to issue 10,000 shares, there may be demand for only 9,000 shares from the public. That is called undersubscription of shares. So understood the concept of oversubscription and undersubscription, par, premium, discount. They may ask you theory question on this, 2 marks. If they ask you what is issue of shares at par, you have to explain with the example like this. Remember, what is issue of shares at premium? What is issue of shares at discount? Explain with the example. When the shares are issued to the public at a price which is more than its face value is called issue of shares at premium. Example, face value of share is 10, issue price is rupees 12, 2 rupees excess collected is nothing but premium. In that way you have to explain, friends. For getting 2 marks, you must give example also. So, I told you issue of shares at par will not be given because 12 marks means some sort of that is spicy thing must be there in the problem, right? If we give only sweet, when you go to a marriage party or any function, whether you will get only sweets? No. In your plate, all the items are sweet items. Whether you have faced like that? No, never, right? There will be spicy item, pickle will be there, curry will be there, sambar, rasam, everything will be there, isn't it? Along with that, sweet will be there. So a problem should be given in that way, because it is a problem, friends. It is not a solution. The solution is given very easy. So you have to solve it. Problem is some sort of spicy thing will be there. You have to solve it and you have to make it correct. You have to make it sweet, correct? Yes. And now let us come to the point here. When premium is there, premium is a profit to the business, profit to the company. So always premium account should be credited, friends. So what we will do is, while passing the entry itself, share allotment account debtor to share capital account to securities premium reserve account. Securities premium reserve account, that is the entry we have to pass while collecting the premium during allotment stage. In the problem they will be very specific. They will tell you very clearly and you have to follow the instruction, that's all. Then again, while giving the problem, you should be very careful, friends. You know all the journal entries very clearly. You have passed all the entries till the end. With the wrong amount, evaluator will give you a big 0. Other than that, they will not give even a single mark also, because it is correct also. That evaluation is correct also. Without correct figure, if the journal entry is given, it's a wrong journal entry. Wrong means 0. It's a practical paper. It is not a theory paper that some part is there, some answer is there. Let us award 50% of the marks. Not like that in accounts, remember. So be careful. So here they may give you a company, ABC Company Limited issued 1 lakh worth equity shares of rupees 10 each. See the wordings. 1 lakh worth shares of rupees 10 each. What does that mean? Is it 1 lakh into 10? The amount that will be collected? No. 1 lakh worth shares. 1 lakh worth means that is the amount that the company is going to collect from the public. And it is divided into shares of rupees 10 each. That means divided by 10, you are going to issue only 10,000 shares, friends. Students will get confused here when they give like this. What they will do? 1 lakh into 10. They will write like this. Isn't it? So you have to take 1 lakh as the amount of capital that the company is going to collect, and the number of shares are 10,000 shares. Some students, they have the habit, like ABC Limited has issued 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. Isn't it? What they should do? 10,000 into 10. Isn't it? 10,000 into 10, 1 lakh. But what they will do is, they will write only 10,000 in the amount column. They will not multiply it by 10. So that is the very dangerous part. So be sure of the amount. While passing the first entry itself, make sure whether the given amount is, whether it's a worth of shares or number of shares. If worth of shares are given, divide it by the face value. Otherwise, write the amount, multiply it by 10 or whatever the face value is given. So make sure of it. Clear? I will take up the other part in the next class. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.